I'd like to introduce you to a strategy for setting more appointments that show. So go ahead and download your appointment tree as I go through some best practices for this great technique. The first thing to know is that people like choices. And the second thing to remember is that you should be asking yes, yes, or yes questions instead of yes or no questions. So to put it into context, I'll tell you a quick story. I was a busy working mom when my kids were younger, and sometimes I needed help around the house. And rather than tell my kids what chore I needed them to do, and then of course hear the complaining and resistance, I would simply give them choices. Something like, hey, Mom needs your help today. Would you prefer to run the vacuum or empty the dishwasher? And inevitably, a decision would be made between the choices. You get the point, right? A yes or a yes question. To get your customers to move forward, use this persuasion technique. There's a few things I want you to notice before you put this technique into practice, though. This simple guideline will help ask the closing question, call them to action, and seal the deal. So number one, be directive. That means sounding firm but friendly. Number two, give the client 2 or more choices. Number three, get them to say yes 3 or more times. Number 4, ask for their most up-to-date email address. Even if you have one in the system, don't assume it's correct. Ask for it because they may even give you a better one. And next, I want to give you a little trick that really helps with setting appointments that are firm. This has to do with a confirmation number. There is scientific evidence that when you write something down, it helps you to remember and commit to it. You will use the last 6 of the customer's VIN as an appointment confirmation number, and you will ask them to write it down. It's also best practice to set appointments on the 15 and the 45-hour mark, like 1:15 or 4:45. It helps them commit it to memory even better. Another great tip is to let the client know that you are setting time aside for them to meet with someone specific. This lets them know that there is someone else's schedule that is going to be affected by this appointment. This will increase the commitment level and get them to show at a higher rate. And let's also touch on missed appointments really quick because you don't want to just throw your missed appointments into the no-show bucket and give up on them. You have to remember, people get busy. Within the first half hour that your client has missed their appointment, you need to pick up the phone and call them. Make sure you stay with them and be understanding of how busy their life can get. Remember, you interrupted their day and their pattern. They weren't sitting around waiting for you to call them for this opportunity. Be flexible and reschedule while making sure they know how interested you are in them coming in. Don't give up on them. Follow these steps and you will see an increase in your show rate.